Hello guys, welcome back to callyalater podcast, episode 14. My name is John.
And I'm Kelly. Happy episode 14.
Number 14.
So we are both college students. We're currently on summer break right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. It's June. It's great. So today we are going to be talking all about the pros and cons of being single and being in a relationship.
Spicy.
Oh, hot stuff. John was telling me, he's like, be careful what you write in here because I might break up with you after.
I don't think I was saying
Okay, that was a little bit more dramatic, but it was just funny. Yeah. Okay. So last week we talked all about getting back to our gym, what our first workout was like, our new workout routine, how we plan to accomplish our goals. So if you guys are into fitness or just want to hear about our fitness goals and our time back to the gym, check it out. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts.
Every major podcast platform. Go check it out.
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the pros of being single and pros of being in a relationship, cons of being single and cons of being in a relationship.
Yes.
All right. So
do you have a little disclaimer?
I do have my little disclaimer plan. So remember, a relationship is all what you make it. You don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. You're your own person first, and take everything we say with a little grain of salt.
This is partially just purely for entertainment.
Yes.
But we're all I
mean, like, some of it really does apply, but then sometimes like we're just kind of like stating the obvious, but then other times it's like we're trying to find something to talk about where we're like, I guess that counts. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start off with pros of being single.
Yes.
John, you want to start us off?
Sure.
Should we go through your list?
Do you want to?
What do you think would be best?
Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
My first one is.
What if my list is longer than yours?
It looks like it is.
Pros of being single.
More free time.
That's my first one too. Yeah.
It's just, don't get me wrong, I love spending time with you, but you do have more free time when you are single to do things.
Oh my goodness, when you're single, like, you don't have to worry about anyone else's schedule. You just kind of, oh yeah, I can be at the pool by this time, or like I can go meet up with so and so, or go get dinner whenever I want. Like, you don't have to worry about anyone else's schedule. But then also, you have all that time to yourself where you can focus on other things that help you as your own person.
Yeah. All right. Another pro of being single, or do you want to give one here?
That was the same one as my first one.
Okay. Not having to worry about others' emotions. Sounds bad in context, but
it's definitely
you have to.
When you're
I guess
dating
consider
someone,
one's feelings.
You have to make sure you're nice to the other person.
Exactly. Whereas sometimes if you're just dating, just like I don't want to say a fling because it's not what I'm looking for. But like, when you're just talking, you don't necessarily have to really worry about.
Even in a fling, you don't really have to worry about the others.
No.
It depends what your fling's all about, but
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I like that one. My second one was the solo lifestyle. So, you have no commitments. Yeah. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, without worrying about anyone else besides yourself.
Definitely.
Granted, you might have to throw your family in there,
Well,
but it's so different than being in a relationship.
It's just you.
So it's like just so different. Like when you go make reservations, not that you really do that, but it's just you. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, I have to find this many things, or like that kind of thing, or schedule it in. It's just a solo lifestyle.
Definitely, agreed.
Like a free little bird.
Okay. So another pro for me was being able to play the field.
Definitely.
Obviously, I'm not looking whilst we're in a relationship, but in terms of being single, you get to play the field, you get to have fun with it, you get to flirt around, things like that.
And it's definitely a thing. Like, that's my third one is multiple friends.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but like in a relationship, you don't want to have, like, as a girl, like, I don't want to have tons of guy friends because I don't want to, like, anything to really evolve into anything else. But then also it's kind of weird texting guys when you, like, even if they're just your friends when you have a boyfriend. Like, that just seems odd to me. But also, like, when you're in a relationship, I don't want to say it limits you from having certain friends, but when you're single, I feel like your circles are kind of bigger in a way.
You can have any friend you want.
Exactly. There's no limitations with it. Like, you don't have to worry about them liking them or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's, like, definitely a thing.
No, I get that 100%. Okay. And then the last one for me was a better sleep schedule.
Okay. Definitely better sleep schedule, better routine. Yeah. You kind of, like, don't have to worry. Like, nothing's really going to hold you back from your sleep or your routine besides yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Then I have two more. You have more time to focus on yourself.
Okay.
When you're single, it's a prime time to do whatever you want because no one's going to stop you. And then also, you have tons of time to do it because you have no other commitments.
Yeah.
And then, I think it's also easier to save money when you're single.
Agreed.
Like, it sounds weird.
But you're not going out to dinner every night,
Granted, you're not spending that much, but also, like, you just, in a relationship, it costs a little bit to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. So pros of being in a relationship.
Yes. You want to go first on this one?
Yeah. Okay, I have the same number for each one. I have 6 pros for each one.
I'm not that organized, unfortunately.
I was scared I was gonna have more for one or the other. I'm kidding. I love being in a relationship with you. Okay. So pros of being in a relationship. Like, John's my best friend.
Same.
You know, like,
ditto. Likewise.
you do, like, not everything together, but everything together.
We do quite a bit,
like,
you know?
you can just go do whatever you want, and that's your person.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
That kind of leads right into mine, the emotional connection to it.
There's definitely emotional connection with being in a relationship, and I think that's definitely a pro.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was actually my second one, is like deep emotional conversations.
We've had our share.
I think that's normal though. But like, granted, you're gonna have those conversations with your friends and
exactly.
stuff.
But all of those conversations have been good conversations.
And great. Yeah. They're fantastic. I love having them. But it's just something different when you're in a relationship having those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's more meaningful,
you
know? Fun dates were my next one. Kind of goes along again with the best friend thing. The best friend is such a overarching term for a relationship. It's weird
because you don't want to say like friend, because then you're like, am I friends with you? But you're already in a relationship, and I think that's healthy to have that friendship established in a relationship.
We're not only just a couple, we're friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, but yeah, fun dates were my number 2, getting to go out. I mean, we have our own little special spots that we go to, that are kind of just personal.
Yeah. I did finding new things through that person. So when you're in a relationship, you're going to learn a lot about your other person, your significant other.
Yeah.
But you're also going to, like, learn about you, because you're going to learn what you like from what they like.
Okay.
So, like, examples of that is music.
What's one band I've introduced you to?
Glass Animals.
Glass Animals?
We've just been listening to them a lot. But, like, you've introduced me to so much different type of music, where I, like, or I might have heard about it. But then I'm like, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
Interests. So, like, I guess, like, our podcast could be one, like, an example. We have formed interests that we didn't know we had before, or just kind of like, oh, that's new. Different friends. Like, I meet your friends, you meet my friends. It's just kind of, we make new friends through each other. And then, like, movie recommendations. I could go on and on, but those are just, like, the 4 that I
Yeah, the big 4. Yeah.
But I thought that was, like, you kind of get, like, more from
I
get, like, more than just the person,
I completely agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
My next one was actually meeting new people through your partner.
Okay, yeah.
New friends, new people.
I think it's a big one.
It is a big one.
Because it really, like, you're opening up your circle to your partner's circle.
Yeah. So you kind of, I guess, merge to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my next one.
Okay.
What about you?
Like, just hanging out, cuddling, watching movies, hugs. You get all the fun stuff
Yeah,
that you don't really get. Like, you can get that when you're single, but it's different when you're in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have another one?
Yeah, workouts together.
I love that. Yeah, so I said someone to do things with, like workout, gossip, drive around. You can travel with each other. It's just so fun. Like, you can do that when you're single, but you might not have the, like, romantic part to it, which I think is a different energy when you do those things with your partner.
No, I get that, and I agree. Better sleep. I know I said I have a better sleep schedule.
But you kind of have, like, a deeper sleep.
Exactly. You have a deeper sleep. You kind of just, it feels nice to have someone there.
Would you say you're less stressed when you're in a relationship?
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because it feels like I have someone that I can rely on, that I can fall back on if I have to.
Yeah.
That sounds bad saying have to, but if I need to, I can fall back on you, and you can do the same for me. So I think that's nice. So yes and no. There's goods and bads to it, pros
definitely.
and cons.
Yeah. Do you have one more?
I do. Having someone to gossip with.
But it's nice because it's a different level of, like, gossip. I feel like has a bad, like, rep to it.
Yeah, it has a bad connotation to it.
It kind of sounds bad, but, like, it's someone you can tell anything to, and they don't really judge you for what you say. For the most part, you can be like, you can talk about your day and be like, oh my god, I can't believe this person said this. Like, and granted, you're probably thinking it, but now you have someone to talk to. Or with it about, that kind of thing. So my last one was trying lots of new restaurants, like going out on dates.
A lot.
Like, granted, before I started dating you, like, I really, like, when you're single, you do go on dates and stuff, but, like, you really try a lot of new stuff in a relationship.
Okay, nice.
So now we're on to cons of being single and cons of being in a relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Want to go first? You got more than me.
This one sounds so negative, but I will explain once I say. So my first con of being single is the fear of the future. this is gonna get like really deep really quick.
Okay.
So like the fear of the future, when you're single, I feel like you're always like surrounded by people who are in relationships, and you're just kind of like, oh my god, I'm never gonna date someone, I'm gonna be alone forever. And that starts that fear of the future of, am I gonna be alone forever, you know? And then it's kind of like, well, this isn't following my life plan, which I think that's so silly to fall like have this like ideal life plan, but you do have goals in your life, you know, and those might be some of your goals. And then being single can cause that fear of like, what if I don't accomplish my goals? Because some goals you can't accomplish yourself alone. Like, you need other people.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I see that. I see exactly where you're coming from, and I think that's a very, I think everyone kind of gets that, you know? It's one of those things that even as much as you don't want to admit it, you have it deep down, you know?
Again, that was a very dark one. They get lighter.
So me, it kind of relates back to one of my pros, but it's for the opposite. Having to play the field to find someone. It kind of also relates to fear of the future. But at times, dating around isn't fun.
It can be fun, but it can be just as much fun as it can be not fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of my ones.
Okay, my next one was finding that one to date. So like the worst part about being single, in my opinion, is you'll go on like 2 dates and you're like, okay, this guy's so nice or whatever, and you're like, you see potential, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh my goodness, why did I spend 2 dates with this person? Like, I'm done. He's a psychopath, you know, like it's just like you don't know.
It's that one flip of a switch,
it's one flip of a switch, because there's nothing making you keep going on a date.
Yeah.
Like when you're in a relationship, you kind of establish it and you like the person, and you don't have any of these like, well, at least I hope you don't have any of these like, oh my god, he's crazy. But like, you'll go on dates and like, cons of being single is those horrible first dates, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to have those to appreciate the good dates.
Definitely.
So that was my second one.
Okay. So mine said not having someone to talk to, which again, unfortunately, you know, the pros are cons and cons are pros. So it's hard to really change it, which you did an excellent job at. I did not. Thank you. But
no,
just
you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You got this.
Not having someone to talk to at times, especially for those deeper conversations when you need a fallback person.
It is hard to have those deep conversations with people you don't know. And some conversations you can have with your best friend if it's like regarding your best friend. You know, like it's hard. My next one with cons of being single is playing the field. Honestly, that could go into pros of being single too. It's however you look at it.
Yeah.
You're either gonna have fun with it, or it's gonna be fun and then turn not fun, or it's gonna not be fun and then turn fun.
Yeah.
It just depends on your situation, and granted, everyone's situation is so different. Because, like, I love dating you, but I loved being single too. I didn't have any issues with it, but it's just everyone's interpretation of it's different.
Definitely.
Like, I know some friends that are like, I miss having a boyfriend. And it's just what your emotional needs are, what your physical needs are with being in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Do you have any more?
So my last one was finding new people can be difficult, which again kind of relates to playing the field.
I think that's definitely thing.
Not only dating, but especially like the more antisocial you are, the more difficult it is.
And throw quarantine in where you're not seeing people and you're not supposed to see people. But it's so hard because it's like, do I online date? Do I meet people at school? Or if once you're done with school, like, do you just meet people at work? Or do you wing it and like, I'm going to the bar by myself?
You kind of have to relearn a whole new system.
It's hard. Yeah. It's like making friends as an adult's hard, but like finding a person to date as an adult's really hard. Yeah. Okay. I like that one. Another con for being single is feeling as if you're missing out.
Okay.
I kind of touched on this. Like, when you're single, it feels like everyone around you is dating someone. Happy in a relationship. And you just kind of start feeling like, am I the only one who's single? Like, what if there's no other good guys out there? What if I'm never going to find someone? And then you just kind of feel like you're missing out because you're looking at everyone and you're kind of like, oh, they go on dates every Friday. Like, I wish I was doing that. I'm just at home watching Netflix by myself. You know, like, it's that feeling of missing out. But realistically, you're really not missing out that much. It's just all mental at that point.
It's how you take it. It's how you perceive it. It's your perception of it, you know?
Do you have any more, or should I keep going?
That was it for me.
Another con of being single, and this one, again, take it with a grain of salt, because I just said this as a pro, is spending too much time with yourself. Where, to the point where it's kind of like you're too absorbed in what you do.
You can become too self-centered.
But also you kind of lose touch of reality. If you're focused on what your goals are 24/7. Like, I think this is, again, take it with a grain of salt because it could go either way. Is, say your big thing when you're single is to work on your fitness. Yeah. You can be totally obsessed with it where it's unhealthy. And that's too much time with yourself. Where it's kind of nice, like, to make time to spend time with friends when you're single and stuff.
You need that social interaction.
Exactly. And then I put this for both cons of being single and in a relationship. you're less social.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're single, you're less social because you don't have someone to go do dates with, but also you're less social because your friends might be dating people and you can't always be the third wheel.
Being the third wheel is never fun.
Okay, so I'll start off with the cons of being in a relationship.
Okay.
So, like I said, I also put less social for being a con as a relationship because you're spending so much time with your partner that you might be less social with your friend group. Which, again, I don't think that's healthy. I think you need to balance it out and spend time with everyone, like your family, your friends, just so you're not solely dependent on your partner. But being in a relationship can make you less social.
Agreed.
I think so. Okay,
so having to consider other feelings, again, relating back to it, but and how what you do will affect them, because every little thing you do in a relationship will affect your partner in one way or another. I mean, it's as simple as how you structure a sentence can change how they perceive it. Facial expressions, body language, everything. Definitely. You know, for her and I, for example, from time to time, we'll notice like, hey, you're being kind of quiet. What's up? And you know, not every time that someone's being quiet, something's wrong, but usually your body language will give away. Actions speak louder than words.
Definitely.
So that's definitely one of my biggest cons, is having to think about those things and having to really learn how to read someone.
And then adjusting to when you are, because typically you're single before you get into a relationship. That's just how it usually goes. And learning to adjust to the lifestyle of like feeling for other people. You know, like putting their needs before your own and kind of being like, are you okay? You know, where before when you're single, it's like, I'm okay. It doesn't matter. You know, like that kind of thing. Okay.
All right. You.
So again, adjusting to a lifestyle after being single, but then also investing a lot of time into someone if it doesn't work out.
That's the worst.
Which sounds so negative. I promise I'm not this negative in real life. Oh, not in real life. This is real life.
This is real life,
That sounded really weird. I promise I'm not this negative all the time. That's what I meant.
No, you're not negative about it. But it's a thing you have to think about.
Like, I feel
like
you have to kind of are negative. But the worst, and I've had this happen to me. I feel like everyone who like breaks up with someone, eventually you might feel this way. Some people think of it as a learning lesson, which I think if you can learn from any of your mistakes, you're winning. You know,
absolutely.
That's solid. That's awesome. Great. But when you invest your time, like there's this one movie that I watched and I cried my eyeballs out. It was on Netflix. I can't remember what the movie was called, but they were in a 9-year relationship. And then all of a sudden one day the guy's just like, I'm not into it. I want it over. 9 years is a long time. But like even if you're dating for like a month is a long time.
A month is a month.
Your time is valuable, and that's the worst part, is when you invest a lot of time in someone and it just doesn't work out. But at the same time, you have to look at the pros and say, I'm glad it didn't work out because I'm on to better things.
Definitely.
It's one of the cons of being, it's like the risk of being in a relationship is it might not work out.
Definitely.
That got really deep.
Very. But why not, you know? Let's do it.
Okay.
So my last one, again, actually that's not my last one, that's my second one, is learning your partner's likes and dislikes.
Okay.
Just kind of learning, you know.
It's hard. You have to gauge it.
In every aspect of the relationship, you know, from as simple as food to like what they like to get as gifts to, you know, how they like to be talked to, how they like to be treated. It takes a lot of time to really learn. And I feel like even though we know each other really well, we're still learning day by day different things about each other, and that's a difficult part of a relationship at times.
I think too, since people are constantly changing and growing and evolving, you're constantly going to be learning new things. Like, they might not like this when you first started dating them, and then like a year later, they're going to love it. And you're just kind of like, oh wait, I had it in my head that you don't like that. You know, like that kind of thing. It happens.
Definitely.
Okay. My next con of being in a relationship is it's kind of expensive.
A little bit.
But like, it's so worth it, but it's expensive.
Yeah. It's just, you know, especially if you go out to eat a lot, it just racks up over time, but it's well worth it.
And then like I like to buy like little things or like treat you with stuff, and it's just, it adds up. Well. But like I'm not saying it's like money not spent well. It's just,
no, not at all.
It
just is expensive.
Yeah.
It's just how relationships are, you know. And ironically enough, relationships that are not expensive typically don't work from time to time. Now, not in every case, but if you're not... I
wouldn't say we're like throwing money around.
No.
We're being responsible, but you know, you do have to like splurge on things.
Exactly. It's just the little things, like even just a little thing here or there, you know, it adds up over time, and it builds that connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
So my last one was, you're not single, you got to be loyal. Now, again,
that's a big one.
That's not a con for everyone, because for, you know, especially, like, I mean, it's not, how do I want to word this? It's not hard for a lot of people to be loyal, but for some people out there, it is hard to be loyal. And it happens, but you have to learn to be loyal.
I think, like, a prime example of this, when we first started dating, I was so used to being single for such a long period of time that it wasn't that I wasn't loyal, it was just I wasn't used to being in a relationship, that it would still be, like, occasionally act, like, say something or act like something that I was single, and I'm like, wait, I have a boyfriend, I'm in a relationship. Like, it was kind of like, whoo.
It's a turning point. You have to adjust to it. It's just how relationships are, you know? Yeah, anything else?
My last one is just the time consuming.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it.
It's well worth it.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 3 questions. That was, like, so deep. Like, I feel like I got, like, a lot deeper than I thought it was going to get.
But hey, again, take everything with a grain of salt. Exactly. This was meant today for pure entertainment, as well as some serious purpose. But we're... Real question, are you going to break up with me for my pros and cons of being single? Are you going to break up with me? No. Okay. Oh, that was so funny when you asked me that. Well, said that earlier. You're like, be careful what you write. It was a joking manner. It was just funny. I laughed. Okay, questions. Favorite thing about our relationship? The emotional bond. Okay. Just the deep conversations that we can have. The fact that we know that at any point in time we can talk to each other about anything we need. Like, exactly. This is a serious question. Exactly. And I also think the fact that we can read each other so well. Yeah. Like, we know when something's wrong. And you don't always have that in relationships. I guess, yeah, I would say that. You don't always, like, we're lucky we have that. Mm-hmm. I think my favorite thing is just having, like, a best friend to hang out with. Like, go do stuff together. It's fun. It's like I can count on you. Okay, question number 2. One thing that you miss about being single. This is going to sound bad, but the spare time. Just the free time. Too time consuming for you. Don't get me wrong. I love all the time we spend together. Yeah. It's just, it really is. I mean, it's, you know, 3 to 4 days a week where you're just kind of, you're in a relationship now, you know? Yeah. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. It's just, there's less time. That's all. I agree. I think that would be the hardest. Like, I feel like I'm so used to working on things by myself that it's like I miss having the time to do that. I didn't think of my answer when I read the question. I think my favorite part about being single, is that the question? Favorite thing? Okay. What I miss most about being single is just kind of like now it feels weird saying this, but like a month ago or a few months ago, you know, when you would have, like, if I would have answered this question, I would say like the fact that like I miss having to only care about myself. Yeah. But like I like caring about it. Yeah. Like I agree. I genuinely like that now. But I think that's probably one of the things that's kind of like you have to watch how you say things, you know, watch how you do it, again, the body language, everything like that. It's like hard because I'm so used to not doing that I think that would be like my thing. Yeah. Okay. And then the last question is, what's one thing being in a relationship has taught you? Oh, other people have feelings. Boys have feelings. Because that was brought up a long time ago. When she said that for the first time that she learned that, I was like, really? Like, it was just kind of threw me off, but I can see where you I have 2 older brothers. I've never really seen an emotional side from them. It's just like, as a little sister, you just don't really see that. And so, like, I've dated boys and stuff, but, like, I never really fully dated someone enough to get an emotional bond with someone. And then I remember I was in France, and it was, like, our first time apart. And I was just, like, talking to my best friend, and we were talking about things, and she's kind of like, how does John feel about this? And I was just like, boys have feelings. Nice. Yeah. Nice. So, what's one thing relationships taught you? The reading a person. Like, being like able to read really the emotions. Yeah. I feel like you're way better at it than I am. I don't know. You're pretty good at it. Okay. You do pretty well at it. But thank you. Mm-hmm. But I think you're better. Thanks. Okay. So, if you guys aren't following us on social media, be sure to check it out. Yes. We have Instagram. I think we just reached 150 followers. So we're 150. We're going up. We're going up. Exciting. Thank you guys. So thank you so much for following along. It's just that Call You Later podcast. Our personals are linked in the bio. It's a lot of fun. We post like little video clips. You get like sneak peeks of not previous. Upcoming episodes. Yeah. What else? We have quotes. We've got pictures. It's a lot of fun. We got motivation. It all, you know? See more behind the scenes of our life on our stories. And then we're also on Twitter, which is Call You Later Pod. Call You Later Pod. Use the hashtag #TweetYouLater. Yeah. So that wraps up this week's episode. Next week, we're going to be talking all about our summer morning routine. It's summertime. You got to get ready for it. I feel like as a YouTuber and like making morning routines, I'm excited. I'm getting John on. She's getting on it. Like, we got to make a morning routine. So we're going to be sharing my morning routine. We're going to be sharing John's morning routine. We're going to compare how our routines are different, girl versus boy. And we're going to be sharing our tips to be productive during the summer in the morning time. In the morning time.
in the morning time.
All right.
All right. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Be sure to leave a review,
Yep.
follow, subscribe, thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. Awesome. Okay. Call you later.
Call you later.
Bye.
Bye.